Hello, everybody. This is Enjoidos. I'm going to give you one of my favorite presentations, and it's going to be of the Aztecs, one of their greatest festivals that I personally love. I'm going to give you the Festival of Fire, Mapilia. Let's get on with it. The general info is celebrated every 52 years. Took place at the end of relatively November. And the 52 is important because it was the time when the two Aztec calendars, Tanahuapali, the 260-day calendar, and Xuitlahuapi, the 365-day solar and ceremonial calendar, both aligned. The Aztecs always feared the worst for the future, and if they performed the ceremony wrong, they would inevitably die. Xuitlahuapi, the god of fire, oversaw the ceremony. His names mean the turquoise god, which in Nahuatl, which is the Aztec language, Xuitl means both turquoise and time, which is to preserve time, the ceremony. For the preparation, all fires were extinguished in the city, from hearths and houses to ceremonial flames in temples. Streets were cleaned, old hearthstones, clothes, and kitchen tools were thrown away, and idols were cleaned thoroughly. Pregnant women were locked in granaries to be kept from turning into monsters, and children were kept from falling asleep to be kept from turning into mice. As night fell, all activity stopped, and people climbed to the top of the roofs to wait for what was to come. The ceremony was the priests gathered outside of Tenochtitlan onto Mount Hixatlan Thorn Tree Place. Priests dressed up as the gods and were led by a representation of Quetzalcoatl up to the mountain. They would wait for a set of stars to align and commence the ceremony. When the Huatlachitli showed the brightest, they would cut the heart out of a living sacrifice and light a fire in his or her chest. And if it caught, the world was safe. If it didn't catch, monsters would come down and eat everyone in the sunless earth, and the world would end. If the flame sustained, they would light a pyre with a flame in the victim's chest to show citizens of the world it was not ending. They transferred the flame to the city and lit a pyre in the temple of Huitzilopochtli. The ceremony continued. Next, a fire at the fire temple would be lit. Runners would go out to ensure all fires in the city were lit again. New hearthstones were created and incense was burned to the god. People would then fast for a time. After fasting, there were a lot of partying. Interestingly, there were 5 of these ceremonies held, ushering in 5 new suns. And Aztec myth claimed that there would only be 5, which soon after the 5th ceremony, Europeans conquered the Aztecs, and there would never be another ceremony. 5 suns, the mythology of the creation. The Aztecs believed that there were 5 creations of suns in the past, and the only way to create a sun was by the sacrifice of a god, which does not line up at all with the mythology. The first sun was the jaguar sun, Uhia Asalatl, which is like ocelot, which is jaguar. Tezcatlipoca was chosen to be the sacrifice, but his sacrifice only made half a sun. Giants were created in the first age, but the god Quetzalcoatl became angry with Tezcatlipoca, and Tezcatlipoca sent jaguars to kill the giants, and the sun was knocked out of the sky. The second sky was the wind sun, Uhi-Echatl. This was created by Quetzalcoatl, and it was a full sun. This was the age where humans, as we now know, were created. But the humans became corrupt and were turned into monkeys and blown away with a hurricane. 5 suns continued. The third sun was the rain sun, Huitzilopochtli. Tlaloc, god of rain and water, became this sun. Tezcatlipoca stole Tlaloc's wife, and being grief-stricken, Tlaloc refused to send rain, and drought spread across the earth, and finally he rained down fire, destroying this world. The fourth sun was the water sun, Nuiatl. Tlaloc's sister was chosen to be the sun. She was Xalahuatlacue, and Tezcatlipoca and Quetzalcoatl became jealous and struck down the sun, flooding the world, destroying it. The fifth sun was the earthquake sun, Nui Alin Hoi. Naja Watson was chosen for the sun, and this is the current sun, which the festival is celebrated, so it will not be destroyed. Thank you.